You know that feeling, right? The alarm goes off, you smack the snooze button, again, and even after what felt like a full night's sleep, you're just dragging yourself out of bed. We've all been there. But what if I told you the answer isn't about getting more sleep? The secret is about sleeping smarter. And it all starts with this really fascinating puzzle from the other side of the world.
So, here's this incredible paradox that just flies in the face of everything we've ever been told about the sacred 8-hour rule. In Japan, people consistently sleep less than almost anywhere else in the developed world. And yet, they also have one of the highest life expectancies on the entire planet. So how on earth is that possible?
And I mean, just look at the raw numbers here. It's pretty wild. On average, people in Japan are getting about 90 minutes less sleep than Americans. Yet, they're living longer, healthier lives. This isn't just some tiny statistical blip. This is a fundamental challenge to how we in the West think about rest.
And that's what we're calling the Great Sleep Paradox. So let's dive in. We're going to unpack exactly how a whole country seems to thrive on what looks like a sleep deficit. And here's a hint. Their secret isn't about brute endurance. It's about a kind of elegance.
So how do they pull it off? Well, it all boils down to this one simple but honestly powerful shift in thinking. They move their focus away from the quantity of sleep and put it all on the quality of sleep. And that right there, that's the key that unlocks everything else.
Okay, to really get this, we need to talk about a concept called sleep efficiency. I know, it sounds a little technical, but it's a super simple calculation, and it is a total game changer for how you'll think about your time in bed from now on.
Okay, think about it like this. Let's say you spend 8 hours in bed, but you're tossing and turning, your mind is racing. Maybe your sleep efficiency is only at 70%. That means you only got 5.6 hours of actual good restorative sleep. Now look at this other scenario. Someone spends just 6 hours in bed, but they're out like a light. Their efficiency is 95%, while they actually got 5.7 hours of real sleep. The math doesn't lie.
And that's the mind-bending takeaway here. By chasing more hours in bed, but with really poor quality sleep, you are literally getting less rest than someone who sleeps for a shorter amount of time but does it efficiently.
But, efficiency is only half the story. The next piece of this puzzle is a specific number, a number that's been wired into our biology all along. It's the secret to timing your wake-up call perfectly.
See, your body doesn't just shut down for one long block of time. It actually moves through these cycles, and each one lasts about 90 minutes. You go from light sleep down into that deep restorative sleep and then back up into REM sleep, which is when you dream. The whole secret is when in that cycle your alarm clock rudely wakes you up.
You know that awful, groggy, hit by a bus feeling? That happens when your alarm goes off right in the middle of a deep sleep cycle. The goal, the entire game, is to wake up at the end of a cycle, when your body is naturally back in a very light stage of sleep. So you stop aiming for a number of hours and you start aiming for a number of completed cycles.
So the magic number you have to remember from all of this is 90. It's that simple. From now on, think in blocks of 90 minutes, not 60. This one little change is probably the most powerful, actionable thing you can do to wake up feeling amazing.
So here's how you actually do it. Instead of setting your alarm for, say, 7 hours from now, which is a weird number of cycles, aim for a time that completes a full cycle. 4 cycles is exactly 6 hours. 5 cycles is 7.5. Just work backward from the time you need to be up and count in 90-minute chunks.
Okay, so that handles our nights, but smart rest isn't just an overnight thing. There's another really cool Japanese practice that helps recharge the brain right in the middle of the day, and it's all about the art of the strategic nap.
It's called inamori, which translates to something like being present while sleeping. It's this cultural practice of taking these short little naps wherever you are, on a train, at your desk, sometimes even in a meeting. And here's the part that's totally wild. In Japan, it's not seen as lazy. It's often viewed as a badge of honor, a sign that you're working so hard you have to catch a little rest whenever you can.
Now, the key to making an Inamuri-style nap actually work for you is its length, and the scientifically proven sweet spot is right around 20 minutes. That's just long enough to get a mental recharge, but it's short enough to keep you from falling into deep sleep so you don't get that awful post-nap grogginess. And this isn't just, cultural wisdom. It is backed by some serious science. A famous NASA study on their pilots found that a nap of around this length boosted their alertness by over 50% and their performance by more than a third. So it's not laziness, it's a strategic tool for peak performance. All right, so we know timing is everything, and we know strategic naps are a game changer. But we also have to talk about where you sleep, because making just a few small tweaks to your environment can have a massive impact on your sleep quality. So here are a few quick Japanese-inspired tips to turn your bedroom into a sleep sanctuary. First, keep your room cool. Your body temperature actually needs to drop to get into deep sleep. Second, consider a firmer sleeping surface. It's often better for your spine. And finally, and this is a big one, your bedroom is for sleep and only sleep. No screens, no working in bed. Okay, this brings us to our final and maybe the most profound piece of this whole puzzle. And it's not a technique or a hack, it's a complete mindset shift in how we think about being tired.
Think about it. In the West, our default reaction to feeling tired is to fight it, right? We grab more caffeine, we just try to power through it. The Japanese approach is completely different. It's about honoring fatigue, actually listening to your body's signals and responding with strategic rest, not just resistance.
And here is the beautiful irony in all of this. The moment you stop fighting tiredness, you get rid of all the anxiety and stress that comes with it. And that stress, that is a major killer of good sleep. By simply accepting that you're tired, you create the mental space you need for deep, efficient rest.
Ultimately, it all just comes down to this. You don't have to be a superhero, you don't need to magically find more hours in the day, you just need to stop sleeping hard and start to sleep smart.